In today's video, a Barney with a chili con carne. Hi guys, welcome back to Dad's channel. It's fabulous to see you here again, and I really hope you're continuing to enjoy the content that we're putting out. I hope you're liking all the videos, and please do consider subscribing to the channel. The more subscribers I get, the more content I can put out, and I know that I'm doing the right things. Please also consider hitting that notification bell just down there, because then you'll get the new videos straight away for a notification straight away. That would be great for me. I love being in your living room. Yes, I do. Strangely. Anyway, today, what are we going to do today? We are going to look at a tinned version of what I, and possibly many of you, would normally do by making it from scratch. Because I personally think it's quite easy to make from scratch. But then we've got to start thinking about, is it worth making from scratch considering the price of some of the alternatives in the shop, either in tins or if they're frozen, etc. So I just want to give you an example, and it will be chili con carne. Now, I would more than likely make it from scratch. Now, this one is the ASDA Essentials chili con carne, and it's 95p for a 392 gram tin. And I'm going to pit it against Tesco's own for £1.65. And you see, tin's a bit flashier, but then it's £1.65. For the ASDA Essentials range, a nice bright yellow colour. Hooray! So, will they taste as good as my homemade chili con carne? Will they taste as good as your homemade chili con carne? Are they worth just buying and doing in the tins because A, it's quicker, and instead of all that fiddly cutting and chopping and frying that we do when we make things at home? Are these better value, or is it better value to make it from scratch on our own the way we want it? Or will these be tasty for us? Let's take a look. Here are the two competitors. So what we're going to do first is take a quick zoom in to the traffic light systems. So as you can see, it's based on half a tin, and in the ASDA Essentials on the right there, it's 168 calories, and half a tin of the Tesco's is 206, which is actually quite a difference, really. Some of that's going to be in that fat for sure, 9.4 in the Tesco's, 6.9 in the ASDA Essentials. And the rest are slightly more saturates in the Tesco's, sugar slightly more in the ASDA, and the salt is just about the same. So let's take a look at those ingredients, because that's where the calories are going to come from Tesco's. So we'll start with the ingredients of the ASDA Essentials. So the first thing on there is red kidney beans at 23%, and then minced beef at 15%, chopped tomatoes at 14%, and the allergen would be the barley. So let's take a quick look at the Tesco's version and see where their ingredients differ. And here we have Tesco's. So the first difference there is beef. They're in at 23%, which is it's a whole 8% more beef in this one, which would account for a lot more calories, obviously. They're then going for a bit of tomato puree and red kidney beans at 17%, which again, let's have a look. Red kidney beans in the, if we remember rightly, red kidney beans in the ASDA Essentials was 23%, so 6% extra is your kidney beans, a bit more protein based. So tomatoes 15%, but it was 14% in the ASDA Essentials. And again, it's barley that is your allergen. So slight difference in the ingredients there. Fairly easy open, and what we're going to do is first impressions as soon as we open the tin. What are your first impressions? The smell has just got to me a few seconds after opening. Smells quite nice, and yeah, I mean, from an initial view, yeah, that looks pretty nice. let's compare it to the Tescos. So what do we think of, I'll try not to pour it out the tin onto the work surface. What do we think of this? Now the flavour of that smell of that, quite a lot stronger actually. Let's compare the two. Now obviously you can see the beans in there, because there's a lot higher percentages of beans, but you can't in the Tesco's one. But it just looks a little bit chunkier with meat, or maybe that's just my impression because I've read the ingredients and that's got more meat in it. Get a heaped teaspoon of each, and there you go. I'll leave that there. I'll use a clean spoon for the Tesco's one, and a heaped spoon of the Tesco's. Thoughts? This one looks a little darker. And here we are, heating away on the gas stove. And this is the ASDA Essentials, and it looks quite deep red. And that's coming along nicely. I've just heating about 3 teaspoonfuls just to get a flavour. And over here we have Tesco's. As you can see, definitely not so many beans in this. And here's the bean-filled version from ASDA Essentials versus the Tesco's. Here they are heated up, and sadly they've actually ran into each other, which I didn't really mean to do. But anyway, so Tesco's and the ASDA Essentials. Now the ASDA Essentials to me looks more like the kind of thing that I would end up with, that darker colour, and this seems quite light to me. So your first thoughts, any particular ideas before it runs off the plate? Right, I think what we should do is have a taste test. Taste test time. Here we are, the slightly darker one from the ASDA Essentials versus the Tesco's, and a clean spoon. So I'm going to start with the ASDA Essentials. I think there's a lot more beans. It's pretty prevalent with beans, obviously, straight away. And if you can see that steaming is quite warm. I'm trying not to push it into the Tesco's one. A bit of bite to it, but it isn't what I would call a chili flavour. Bland, really, quite bland from a chili perspective. I expect something a bit more hot. I mean, obviously when I make my own, I put quite a little chili in it to make it hot. More heat, definitely more heat with the Tesco's version. Not as much heat with the ASDA Essentials, and you can tell there's a lot more beans in there, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I do love kidney beans. So from a tinned perspective, I would probably be okay with either. But to be honest, I think I would still prefer to make my own, because then I can adjust the heat and adjust what's in it, and I would definitely go with that. And I would probably be able to make enough to make it just as cheap. The heat is slightly more in the Tesco's one than the ASDA Essentials, but from a perspective of buying them, if you were going to buy them in the tin, ASDA Essentials, because it's 70p cheaper. Please like, please subscribe, please comment below. If you've tried these and whatever you found, I would love to hear. Anyway, around here will be a link to another video on the channel. Check out all the content, there's plenty on there. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.